Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, the Torrance Fire Department demonstrates a special training to prepare local businesses.
Then dozens of volunteers get their hands dirty to beautify a local park.
And this cute and cuddly seal is leaving a mark in the medical world.
Plus, the Torrance Police Department receives a grant from a newly formed foundation. We'll tell you what it's all about.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks so much for joining us. Here are your top stories. A new foundation that will fully support the police department announces its new establishment during the recent council meeting. The Torrance Police Foundation is governed by a volunteer board of directors made up of business and community leaders. It only exists to support the Torrance Police Department and fill the gap when budget cuts get tight. The focus includes advanced training for our officers, community relations and outreach initiatives, youth programs related to the police department, crime prevention projects, and specialized equipment and technology. Also at council, the foundation granted the police department more than $26,000 to purchase 18 automated external defibrillators. Currently, police vehicles are not equipped with the defibrillator that treats victims who suffer from cardiac arrest once responders arrive on scene. Studies from the American Heart Association indicates that employing both AED and CPR rescue techniques within the first 5 minutes of sudden cardiac arrest can increase survival rates by more than 50%.
The foundation is playing a big role in helping us implement new programs that will ultimately benefit the entire city.
You can go to torrancepolicefoundation.org for more information.
Torrance residents spoke out against developers at a recent community meeting. A proposed neighborhood grocery store and gas station in a residential area brought out many to the Bartlett Senior Center for the town hall. Torrance CitiCABLE reporter Hibas Ahmed was there and has this story.
We love this property. We think it's a great property, one that it's close to our office.
And a location Tower Energy Group Operations Manager Mark Vasey says is ideal as the Torrance-based company ventures to expand in Southern California.
So I think it'll be good for the community.
Tower Energy Group is currently in escrow with Flavio's Beauty School on Carson Street near Gramercy. They're proposing to build a 4,500 square foot grocery store with a fuel station that would also remove 2 homes in the area. But majority of locals that came out to this meeting say it's not welcomed.
I think our quality of life there will be definitely impacted by having noise, traffic, more people coming through, light pollution. I'm just not happy with the project at all.
Nadine Kirk lives on Gramercy, just a few blocks from the future development, and is concerned with speeding cars.
There are 9 gas stations within 1 mile of that address. There are 9 additional gas stations within another mile, and there are 12 convenience stores. That's what I searched for, including Ralph's, which is a giant supermarket, 0.3 miles from my house.
With 50 of these grocery stores already in Northern California and 3 in Southern California, Tower Energy is no stranger to neighborhoods.
We're used to being in neighborhoods, so we feel it's a good location, a good fit for everybody.
While it's not a traditional supermarket, the neighborhood grocery store plans to offer hot foods, a deli selection, and fresh produce. And with plans to have 6 fuel stalls, Stephanie Ordy, who's lived in Torrance for 60 years, says she's looking forward to it.
You know, I like the idea of the market for the project because they've closed the market in Old Torrance, and it was just very convenient to be able to go and get a thing or two.
Tower says even though they're still in preliminary stages, they have plans to meet the community's needs by doing a traffic and light study and finding ways to slow down traffic near the grocery store.
It's a historic area and we'd like to see something, quiet.
Councilman Mike Griffith says while the city is working on a historic preservation program to protect homes like the one affected by this development, nothing is in place just yet to stop construction.
We have to balance the neighborhood desires with the rights of the property owner and let them develop the property in a way that they're allowed to do by the current zones.
The company says they're looking to build a 6 to 8 foot wall between their business and neighborhood to alleviate the noise and plan to work with the community to meet their needs.
We're from around here too. Our office is in Torrance. Any issues that come up, we can meet with them very quickly, and we'd be happy to.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Hiba Samad.
Thanks, Hiba. Tower Energy Group says they plan to create up to 25 parking spots. They hope to start construction in 2017.
Volunteers from a local church gave up their Sunday morning to help clean up Columbia Park.
We love Torrance!
From smoothing out the running trail throughout the park to pulling weeds, nearly 50 church members volunteered from the World Mission Society Church of God. They were also participating in their organization's 3,252nd worldwide cleanup campaign. And this wasn't the first volunteer event they've had in Torrance. The mission has served more than 2,000 hours over the past several years in the city, helping out at the Madrona Marsh Preserve and Entradero Park.
It's really beautiful to help the community so we can set a good example of how God wants us to be and truly glorify God through the good deeds that they allow us to do to the community.
Founded in 1964 in South Korea, the Church of God has more than 2.5 million registered members worldwide. Their mission is to spread love by giving back to the community. They've received numerous awards and recognition for their volunteer efforts. Most recently, they were granted an award from Queen Elizabeth for their volunteer service as the member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire this past June.
Well, experts from across the city of Torrance came together to talk about issues facing older adults. This free town hall meeting was a long time coming as Executive Director and founder Ghislaine Davis from the South Bay Village spearheaded this idea. But thanks to Assemblyman David Hadley, Providence Little Company of Mary Institute for Human Caring, and ADIA, they were able to make it come alive at First Lutheran Church in Torrance. The panel answered questions about the evolving care for older adults and resources available to their families. Speakers talked about the many changes that have already happened in the caregiving industry and how older adults require caregiving services. Topics included fall prevention, in-home care options, hospice care, and advice on how to help seniors age in their homes.
There's a number of different issues that older adults in our community are concerned about, and so we felt it was very important to have a number of organizations come together to provide really important information.
It is very important that we work to help seniors have a better life and have easier life, and that's what we're all here for. And this is just the beginning of other presentations we're going to do to help seniors.
All in-home caretakers must be licensed in the state of California, and there are stricter rules and obligations that need to be followed by them.
The community gathered to raise nearly $50,000 to help fight breast cancer. There was positivity in the air as more than 1,500 people showed up for the annual 5K Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk. They rallied together to beat the disease at Wilson Park. From survivors to people supporting their loved ones, each step was to spread awareness about breast cancer. The fundraiser goes towards finding a cure through the American Cancer Society and researching ways to help women detect breast cancer earlier. Survivors also took the stage to tell their story and how long they've been cancer-free.
I'm a cancer survivor, and I participated every single year, our 6th year, for Team Yo-Yo. So every year we keep growing, and it's fantastic.
My aunt had breast cancer, and she just overcame it, so I was like, I wanted to do it for her, and I'm in Key Club, so I wanted to support my club too.
I've really felt such an emotional connection to all of the people who were coming here today, because just like me, they faced either directly or indirectly the suffering of breast cancer, and I just think it's so great that we can all come together, dedicated to fighting the same cause.
This was the 6th time this event was held in Torrance and was sponsored by local medical centers. The walk is part of a national campaign.
Well, still ahead, local residents take part in one of the largest volunteer efforts in the world. We'll take you there.
Plus, this cuddly seal brought smiles to clients at the Harbor Regional Center in Torrance.
Preparing to survive and recover from California's next damaging earthquake will help keep all of us safe.
Join millions of Californians from all 58 counties who will be participating this year in the Great California Shakeout Drill.
Be one of California's earthquake survival stories. Learn how to drop, cover, and hold on during an earthquake.
Prepare today so that you can get back to normal sooner after the next big quake strikes.
Go to shakeout.org to register.
And participate in the Great California Shakeout coming October 15th.
Music is a bridge
between the material and the spiritual. As a blind person, you have to be aware that nobody can tell you what you can or can't do. You really have to try things. My wife, who was also blind, was a good cook. When she died, that's when I started Meals on Wheels. My name is Harvey Lauer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Clients at the Harbor Regional Center in Torrance had a special visitor that would make you want to cuddle. While this may just look like an ordinary stuffed seal, it's actually an interactive Japanese robot called Pero. Clients 2 to 10 years old from the Harbor Regional Center had the chance to meet and play with Pero. The seal is an interactive robot developed by the Advanced Industrial Science and Technology Intelligent Systems Research Institute. It helps document the benefits of animal therapy and socially assistive technologies. Their demonstration was to show that robots like Pero can have positive impact on children with disabilities. So far, Pero is only used in environments such as hospitals and extended care facilities in Japan and Europe. It has proven to reduce stress, motivate patients, and improve socialization.
Being stroked is good for Paro, and being hit is bad for Paro. So Paro tried to be stroked by the owner, and Paro gradually changed his characters to be liked by the owner.
We wanted to find out more about this technology, assistive technology, and how it could help individuals that we serve.
Pero has 5 kinds of sensors with which it can perceive people and its environment. He feels being stroked and touched by the tactile sensor or even being held by the posture sensor. He can learn to respond to a new name and improve behaviors for people with aggression. Doctors say that with human interaction, the seal responds as if it's alive by moving its body. Pero was in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's most therapeutic robot. Harbor Regional Center serves more than 13,000 clients that have been diagnosed with autism, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, and other similar conditions.
Well, Ben, it's something you have to see for yourself to believe. A Torrance family took home the grand prize during the Great Pumpkin Weigh-Off at the Irvine Park Railroad in Orange during Pumpkin Mania. Well, their pumpkin, called Goliath, weighed in at more than 1,400 pounds. The Dunn family says it took them more than half a year to grow it, and at times it was growing 55 to 60 pounds a night. More than 1,000 people came out for this competition, and there were many other categories like the oldest grower and the ugliest pumpkin.
Man, that's huge. There was only one place in town recently that was offering flavorful taste all under one roof. With live music from a local band, the community enjoyed food from 5 gourmet food trucks at Nativity Catholic School Food Truck Night. There was also a meet and greet with local government officials and face painting. Officials from the school say they hosted this event to give people a chance to see what their school has to offer.
We really are here for the entire community. So this night here is outreach. It's to let everybody know, like, hey, you know, we're a neighbor, but we want you here. We want to include as many people and kids as possible.
Nativity Catholic School opened its doors in Torrance in 1948, also known as the Nativity Bruins. The school excels in elementary education while recognizing the Catholic Church teachings.
Torrance High School was recently acknowledged for its beautiful campus. Ranked on a list of 40 most beautiful campuses, Torrance High was number 30 for its aesthetically pleasing look. The high school campus may be familiar to some as it was used in many television shows, including Beverly Hills 90210, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and The Secret Life of the American Teenagers. It was established in 1917 and is the oldest high school in its district. Currently, 4 of its buildings on the campus are listed on the U.S. National Register of Historic Places. The campus is a 2-story structure designed with Mediterranean and Spanish influences. The list was released by ACEABLE, a company that helps provide safe driving courses. Hundreds of volunteers gathered at Torrance Beach to participate in the annual Coastal Cleanup Day. Jessica Pierre was there and has more.
Picking up one piece of trash at a time, families, locals, and city council members came together for one cause.
We have such an amazing coastline in the South Bay, so I'm really proud to be here as part of the Torrance Beach Cleanup and make sure that we keep our beaches as clean and we recycle as much as possible and get it off our coastline.
This annual event is one of the largest volunteer efforts in the world, involving 47 countries. This year in Torrance, more than 600 people came out.
I've been doing it for 10 plus years, and it's part of the awareness of the environment. You know, let's all work together. Let's make sure that it's clean for everybody.
And for Paul Mejia, a Torrance resident, there is always trash that needs to be picked up.
The Torrance beach is normally very clean, but they do find a lot of small debris, cigarette butts, paper, other little small items that are not good for like nesting for the birds. They don't want the stuff to get in the water to the fish.
Coastal cleanup is made very easy for volunteers. They come in, they register, get a small pep talk, and then they come down here to this table to grab their supplies, where they get a bag, gloves, and a trash checklist so we can keep track of what's being collected today.
Well, we found multiple styrofoam, we found a tire, lost a lot of plastic wrappers.
We actually found a couple fireworks and a lot of cigarette butts. They're like everywhere.
And with hundreds of people scouring the beach for trash, it was no surprise that nearly 258 pounds was picked up, making the beach more enjoyable for those who visit.
I come down here very frequently because I do a lot of cycling. And I ride from here. I like starting here because that's my mile mark. I go to Redondo. I go all the way to Venice Beach sometimes from here.
Torrance Beach is one of our jewels in our community. You know, we have a little bit more than a mile of beach, and I call it a pristine beach because there's no commerce on it at all. It's just open to the public, and it's absolutely beautiful.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Jessie Pierre.
Thanks, Jesse. Coastal Cleanup Day is organized by the California Coastal Commission, the Ocean Conservancy, LA County Department of Beaches and Harbor, and Heal the Bay. For more information on how you can take part in keeping our beaches clean, visit healthebay.org.
Parents and their children have the chance to see and make their own art at the Torrance Art Museum.
You see the rocks? Here's the rock.
As part of their afternoon art program that happens once every month, participants get to sit in on reading time, a one-on-one tour of the most current exhibits, and even make their own artwork. During this learning session, attendees worked on creating blue sun prints. They learned how to expose light-sensitive paper to the sun to expose the negatives of their compositions. The Torrance Art Museum is the premier visual art space to view contemporary art in the South Bay. It's part of the city's cultural division of the Community Services Department. They will have another Stories in Art event on October 20th from 4 to 6 p.m. To make a reservation, call 310-781-7163.
It was an exciting night at the James Armstrong Theater as 20 performers of all ages took to the stage in the hopes of taking home the grand prize. What started with nearly 70 auditions, only 20 got the opportunity to sing and perform for judges and, of course, an enthusiastic audience. They were ranked from 1 to 100. Performances ranged from singing styles of opera to pop to a sister duo who performed traditional Thai instruments and even a band performance. First place went to John Lay, who performed a solo guitar piece. Second place went to Liz King, and the third runner-up was Artisan Guitar Ensemble. Judges' favorites were also recognized, including Lemon Kicks, Judy Rowe, Kelsey Sire, the Chirichin Sisters, Gianluca Ferrante, and Sophie Abenanti. The grand prize winner received a full scholarship to attend the World Championship of the Performing Arts in Long Beach next year. For more information, you can go to torrancearts.org.
A local company celebrates another year of success with the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. The promotions department brought in its 25th year in business with the local community and city leaders. Mayor Fury awarded the business owners with a certification of recognition for their contribution to the city of Torrance. They specialize in promotional merchandise for companies, and what started with just 2 employees has now grown to 17. The promotions department continues to service big sports teams, nearly 30 in professional sports, and even produces for overseas businesses. During its open house, John and Linda Tulchin said the key to their success has always been delivering quality products in a timely manner.
Well, I think what makes us unique is that a couple of things. One is that we're a creative group, and that in this business, clients want something that's new and different, and that represents their brand. And if you can bring them that, they'll keep coming back to you.
The company is located at 24238 Hawthorne Boulevard. You can check out their website at thepromotionsdepartment.com.
A new business that offers specialized care for individuals with hearing loss opens in Torrance. Beach City's Hearing Solutions became a member of the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce recently. The business owner is excited to offer his expertise along with his team in the South Bay. They provide assessments and treatments for hearing loss, including hearing aids. Hearing Solutions also provides inner ear health and solutions for dizziness and tinnitus. Beach City's Hearing Solutions opened in July. They're located on 20911 Earl Street, Suite 330.
What makes us unique is it's a much more family-oriented place where it is much more related to the physicians and the physicians in the area that work with us versus and referring to us versus it being this kind of big box store.
For more information, you can go to beachcitieshs.com. You can also call 888-405-2247.
Another recent ribbon-cutting ceremony was held for a new therapy office in Torrance. New Healing Journeys is now open, offering a wide range of mental health services. Lead therapist Madison Brightwell says her office caters to all different people, from families, couples, adults, and even children. She says that while many people believe that therapy is only for people with certain problems, that it can be helpful to everyone. Brightwell also has training in hypnotherapy.
I think it's also partly because I'm dealing with issues that a lot of people have difficulties with. As I say, I deal with trauma, and that actually covers quite a wide range of people. You know, used to think of trauma as being only something that veterans face, or people who've been raped or had a significant incident that happened to them, life or death incident. And now we realize that trauma is a lot more prevalent than that.
To learn more about New Healing Journeys, call 310-357-6570. Local firefighters are using a special tool to help community members fight a real fire. It may look like an emergency, but these farmers market employees were the first to undergo new fire extinguisher training, which included a hands-on fire simulation of a Class A fire. They were taught through an equipment system called BullX. It gives responders an opportunity to educate businesses and locals out in the community on how to fight a fire and what types of fires people may face. The fire extinguishers have water in them, so it doesn't impact the environment and does not leave residue. Also, there's a timer that allows the simulated fire to turn on, training people to beat the fire within a certain time period.
It's cost effective, so there's no actual added cost to the people who are offered the training, not only to the department, but for the people being trained. And the benefit is just giving someone the experience of how the extinguisher feels when it's operated, what they need to do, and the processes and what they need to follow to use the extinguisher.
This type of training can be scheduled with the Torrance Fire Department and is free to the public.
As the Torrance Police Department works to spread awareness about coyotes in the area, other departments are playing a huge role as well. The city parks staff have taken many steps to deter the coyote population. Officials say approximately 100 domed, self-closing trash can lids were purchased to prevent animals from taking out debris that may lure coyotes. Park staff have also been working around the clock to constantly check trash bins to make sure that there is not a lot of trash sitting around. Many trash bins also have a narrow 9-inch circular opening on top that discourages animals from gaining access. They've also removed shrub and cleaned areas of high grass where animals can hide. As a reminder, they say park users should not leave trash bags outside of the dumpsters, and they should pick up after themselves.
Well, still ahead, Sports Desk anchor Byron Newsome gives us the latest on what's happening in the Torrance sports world.
Get up, I know you found a way. Head up, look through those clouds of gray.
Now it's our turn. Go to ourturntohelp.org and donate what you can. Hope is on the way.
Welcome back, everybody. Here are some upcoming events you won't want to miss. Here's your chance to learn about the meaning of art on Tuesday, October 4th at the George Nakano Theater from 12:10 to 1 p.m. Art historian Mary Drobny will lead the lecture. And the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce is hosting their monthly advanced planning, health, and wellness event. It starts at noon and runs through 1:30. It takes place at the new chamber office at 2300 Crenshaw Boulevard. Plus, make sure you have Friday, October 7th, marked on your calendar. Torrance Police Department will celebrate the first National Coffee with a Cop Day from 5 to 7 p.m. It will take place at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, located at 21300 Hawthorne Boulevard. Well, before we go, we have a sneak peek at what's happening on the sports desk with Byron Newsom.
That's right, Byron. What's going on this week?
Hey, Jin and Ben, coming up on the sports desk, the South High Spartans volleyball team is looking to gain some momentum and wipe away some bad memories as they face a big rival. See how they fared against Chadwick. Plus, the El Camino Warriors are trying to stay unbeaten at home. Can they fight off the Gauchos at the Murdoch Stadium? Tune into the sports desk at 4 and 9:30 right here on CitiCABLE. Jin and Ben, back to you.
Thanks, Byron. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Jin Chun. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.